So, hi. Um, First, I wanted to. Why was I way down there then? Maybe I was put in the road? I don't know. Good question. I am so confused now. Huh. Oh, maybe I was put in the sidewalk. Okay, so I was just doing a Disneyland Adventures video, and I'm really confused now because, uh, it does not want to load into YouTube. And I've hit export twice now. Um, okay, so yeah, I think I'm trying to put in the road. I mean the sidewalk. Oh, this there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So technically right here would not be what is there. It would be this. We're still trying to finish this. The idea is to put in 10 roads instead of what we had last time, which is only 9 roads. Because I don't like the idea of the mangrove trees being on the road with the movie theater and all that stuff. Um, so on the road to the other town, we need to put in a shooting range, a place where you learn how to shoot. Um, we need to put in airsoft and paintball and a store kind of thing between them. So you go up to uh, this half of the counter and you can do paintball. You go up to that half of the counter, you can do airsoft. Airsoft is plastic BBs, if you don't know. Um, we used to know somebody, or I guess I used to know somebody, that when his dog misbehaved, he actually shot real BBs at his dog. I just remembered that. I don't think that's okay. No, that's the problem with this, is that we gotta go all the way back over there and, keep counting, make sure that we got everything, exactly the way it's supposed to be. Um, yeah. So I'm feeling mostly better after my surgery. Um, it's almost been a week. It'll be a week tomorrow, officially. And I've just been, kind of out of it all week. But I think I'm mostly back to normal. Uh, and we're trying to get this done. It's taking forever, but we'll get there. Yeah. Okay, let's try one more time. Finally! Oy. Okay. So I feel kind of bad because on my Disneyland one, um, at least at first, I had, oh, I probably ought to put this back on the thing now that I got that to behave itself. Yeah, in case anybody wants to watch me and follow in chat. I mean, you don't even have to follow to chat. I just need chatters. I need a lot of chatters. But, yeah. So, I had this idea that yesterday I was going to work on my book. I call it my story, but it's not like I'm writing my life story, which would be kind of boring. Except for that I've gone to Disneyland 4 times. Um, it's not that I'm writing my life story, it's that I'm writing um, my stories about my pirates and the one about my cat. So that segue into please check out Amazon for my books. You just go into Amazon and in the search engine type in Tina Rash Books, TINARASHBOOKS. I only spell it because, like some people might spell my name differently. Most people spell my name exactly the way it's spelled, but there might be somebody out there who doesn't. Um, anyway, and you should find Pirate's Daughter, which introduces the captain. The captain has had a very interesting life before she ends up on the ship. It's all the different stories of how that character ended up on the ship. And some of it actually intertwines with somebody else that also lives on the ship. Like at one point, um, Hayden is being held in this room. It's a tiny little room. It's got 2 twin beds and one, two, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about 4 feet between the two of them. And there's a bathroom in the little hallway between the 2 beds. And just before that bathroom is a TV on a uh, possibly rolling TV stand. And it only plays stuff that adults can watch. We'll put it that way. So, no Dora the Explorer, no Disney Junior. Um, I couldn't think of a specific show. Oh, like no Sophia the First. No Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah. There wouldn't even be, like High School Musical. But anyway, so so that's that's what's happening. And um I think Matt was on the other bed. Hayden's on one bed. He's chained to it. And I think Matt was on the other bed. And then William gets brought in for a little bit. He's there for a mafia meeting. Well, he's not invited to the meeting, but his father is, and William is, William was at dinner for show, and to show that William's dad is a nice family man. And then later, Luke gets brought in for a little bit. And, Luke's doing his preacher thing, trying to recruit William into the Lord's army. And William goes, when God comes up with a safe place for me to live, I'll think about trusting him. So, eventually, William has to go back to his situation where he doesn't know if he's going to be thrown down the stairs or shot or whatever at his house, because his mafia nanny is in charge of discipline, and that might include getting punched in the nose. He used to be a nice guy before William's mom died, but now he's taking out his anger on William. So, because he probably wanted William's mom at some point too. Oh yeah, he did. Never mind. Anyway, and Luke gets sent off to, I don't remember where. I think a pirate ship, though. He was on a pirate ship at one point, and he's telling them about God from memory. Everything that he remembers from the Bible. And, he's got a really good memory, so he's able to tell them, everything from Adam and Eve, where the pirates were asking what was so ugly under those fig leaves that she had to cover him up. I mean, she had to cover it up, to Revelation with the dragons. I haven't actually read Revelations. I've read most of the Bible, but I haven't read the part with the dragons. And I just think that it's kind of funny because two of the people that we used to go to church with until we moved up to South Lake Tahoe, they were, before they got saved and everything, they were reading through Revelation, and they're drunk or high or something like that. I think they were drunk and high, actually. I don't remember. But anyway, they turned their lives around to where they weren't doing that anymore later. But yeah, so they're reading through Revelation, and they're reading through the Bible, and they're kind of like ha ha ha, whatever. And then they got to Revelation, and it was like, ew, this is scary stuff. And they like made sure to go to church the next week. Anyway, um, so so yeah, the first book is how Morgan got onto the ship, and they grew up on the ship together. Her and Hayden and Jake and Michelle, they all grew up on the ship together. But then when uh, Hayden was 5, there was a big storm, and Hayden was just doing his job. He's supposed to comfort Morgan through the storm, but they fell asleep on the bed. And Katie, Morgan's mother, she was the captain of the ship at the time. She got angry and was about to kill herself, cabin boy. All they did was fall asleep. It's not like he kissed her or anything. But she was a very angry person. What? Honey, we don't talk about that stuff on this stream. We can talk about that stuff on GTA stream. Yes, you did. Yes. Anyway. Anyway, it's not like they were caught kissing. But anyway, so years later, Hayden and his family moved off the ship when Hayden was 5 because of that. And then years later, Jake and no. Years later, Morgan and her family ended up moving off the ship because they had a vacation home in Ireland, or maybe it was their home. But anyway, no, yeah, I think it had to have been their home. Anyway, her parents wanted to raise her as a uh, as a normal person instead of a pirate person. It's mostly her mom's idea. Her dad wants her to be able to, if she starts dating boys, kick butt and take names in case they, want kisses when she doesn't want to give them. But Katie's like, she needs to be a proper young lady. Anyway, so they moved off the ship, and Michelle's dad, James, is running the ship as captain. And so Morgan's mad at her mom because she wanted to, be on ship her whole life. But it didn't work that way because, like I said, Katie is like, we don't need to do that anymore. We're a family. Well, for Morgan's 7th birthday, the bad guys come. Daniel, her dad, took her. He's also the father, the father of Morgan, but I don't like saying it that way. I like saying dad. Anyway, he took her down to go fishing because like she's so excited, she's getting in the way more than she's helping. So he took her fishing, and the bad guys came and kidnapped both of them. So they're held on his ship, and the pirate captain Miguel, I can't remember. I think I made him Miguel Valentine, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I made him Miguel Valentine just because I liked the last name Valentine. Um. Anyway, he's trying to marry Morgan off to his daughter, I mean to his son Antonio, but Daniel's like, oh hey no. So they go through this thing of making it look like they killed Daniel off. So Morgan goes back to the house. She explains, and then she goes into her room. She's crying. It's her birthday, and so she's like super upset when uh, Hayden or Jake. Oh no, Hayden wasn't allowed to go, so it must have been Jake. Gets there, he tries to cheer her up, and they finally have the birthday party. But she's still super upset because her dad's gone. Well, years later, they're selling that house, and she meets Hayden again. So they get to be really good friends all over again. And they're getting like, you know, boyfriend girlfriend kind of friendly. But then all of a sudden, um, she disappears. You know, it's a few years later again, and she disappears. And then she finally finds him. I mean, they finally find each other again, and then he disappears. But there's a reason for all of this. Anyway, so it's some good books. And she dated William at some point in time because they both ended up at Shatana's, which is a business that we don't talk about on Minecraft streams. Um, we can talk about them on GTA streams, but not Minecraft streams. Okay, let's match this up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It was 30, right? I just want to make for dang sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Let's start over again just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. What happened? Yeah, mine was making noises like it was going to, and then it didn't, so. I know. I stream very often. Oh, and we were talking about how his controller battery was, um, it died. Okay, so yeah, you're probably gonna hear me talking to somebody that you can't necessarily hear. Um, It'll be my husband for a while, cause they were overworking him at Tractor Supply, and like they were adding tasks to what he was already supposed to be doing, and like anytime propane came, anytime somebody came for propane, it was, Mike, can you go do that? Yeah. Now he's saying it just seemed like it, but he comes home and tells me, you know, stories, and yeah. So it was every time. He's just trying to be nice about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway. Anyway, if you want to hire robots, hire robots. If you want to hire actual humans, see that they actually have human needs, like needing to go to the bathroom, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and having days when they can't lift stuff because they're 40 something years old. Yeah, you can't hire somebody who's 40 something years old and expect them to run around like an 18-year-old. It doesn't work that way. And I swear, as soon as I can, I'm getting a shirt with that picture on it. I have a picture on my computer. Somebody posted a saying on their wall outside their shop. And it says something along the lines of, due to the shortage of robots, we have hired humans, and they may react unpredictably if abused. Somebody starts yelling at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Hey, I've got a viewer. Yay! Hi, viewer. I don't know if that viewer's me or if it's somebody else, but, Well, yeah, but then sometimes it tells me I have 0 viewers and I'm still watching, so that's why I'm very confused about that. Okay. Anyway, we're getting this done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna have to go and fix a bunch of these houses over here. Because, Squibs was just trying to help. And he was helping, seriously. He was. But the houses are not in the correct spot. Or at least a lot of them are not in the correct spot. So, because of that, we're going to have to go and move them over, or have him move them over. I haven't felt like company in my world because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because of the surgery. I just, I didn't want to have to deal with extra stuff, especially since my blood pressure went up to 180 on Monday. That was scary stuff. I know that you're supposed to be less than 180. Even if I don't know what number is actually ideal, but I do now. Apparently 120 is ideal, and I was 60 above that. So far, every single one of these are lining up as 30, except for that one over there. That's so weird. How did I do that? Seriously, how does one do that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so I'm going to double check this one because I did pause. Throws my little numbering system off, which is actually just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah. Okay, so far that's fine. So far this whole row is fine. But this is the row where it started getting not fine. So, and somebody's trying to sell me cheap viewers again. You know what? I need to put that banana peel away. So let's put the banana peel away and then we'll go and try to figure out, we'll squawk at the person about the cheap viewers and get back to counting. Okay. So we will sit. We'll put the footrest up. Oh, we'll bring this onto my lap. I've got one of those lap desks that has all my stuff on it. Okay, so let's see about this person. Warning sent but unable to fetch account. So that is when I go and ban the account. I go and give them a chance to be a real actual person first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unlike somebody who just bans everybody because his best friend told him to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sid told you to just ban everybody that is trying to sell you viewers. No, actually, you send them a warning just in case, it's an actual human. You find out if it's an actual before you. I've been at this since January last year. I'm pretty knowledgeable. I'm not saying I'm perfectly knowledgeable. I'm just saying I'm pretty knowledgeable. Okay, so yesterday-ish, I think it was yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we set up. But then this is where the house is going to end up being. I'm laughing because, like, notice it's like 5 miles away. Wait. Yeah, okay. I'm laughing because it's like 5 miles away from where the house is. Okay. So, yeah, this is where the house is gonna be. And then, there's not even 7 houses over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 7 there's 6 in a piece. Something like that. But there's supposed to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Okay, fine. So, we are hoping to get a job at Sprouts or Walmart. Or Walmart. Walmart would not be necessarily ideal, but we know we can do the job, and they're definitely going to kick out the self checks because too many people know how to cheat the system and like hold the thing up there but don't actually get it scanned, and then they go out the door because the person's not going to be paying that much attention, or half the time they don't even have anybody manning that door. So, yeah, they're probably losing millions of dollars, but, it was more important to fire me for asking the corporate dude to wait in line like everybody else. Excuse me, we don't have Fast Pass at Walmart. We don't have a Lightning Lane. You gotta wait in line like everybody else. And I'm holding to that. Excuse me. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna get hired back, but, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Gotta count it again. Got distracted. Okay. I'm sorry. This isn't the most interesting content, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So the wall goes here. In the middle of the house. Just do it that way. But yeah, it's all lining up except for that one. That's so weird. I counted it out carefully, I thought. And that one has 29 instead of 30. Oh, I thought that was thunder. Some stupid, badly tuned car just went down the street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because their owner thinks it sounds so good that way. One, two, three, 4, 5. Never mind that, the neighbors, might be, well, they're probably not sleeping during the day, but, they might have plans that don't include listening to their badly tuned car all day. I mean, it could be that they don't think that it sounds cool. It's just that they don't have the money to get it Midas-sized or whatever. But usually, if your car sounds like that, you think it sounds cool. Because Fast and the Furious has cars that sound like that. It's like, I thought people were smarter than that. Speaking of Fast and the Furious, I cannot wait for the next movie because the last movie did not make any sense. Okay, so I would not be surprised. I really would not be surprised if they, kind of went back in time to the part where Dom almost drowns. And, this is all a montage of it, how do you figure out montage? I mean, how do you explain that? It's all video to show what could have happened. Something like that, and then he wakes up in the hospital and he was on life support the whole time, and do the whole well, no, that's like daytime TV thing, soap operas. but it, with the way that the last movie went, I wouldn't put it past them, but they're better than that. I mean, dude, they made a Toyota or whatever it was go out into space. Was that what it was? Okay, he says it was not a Toyota. I didn't think so, but I keep calling it a Toyota because I don't really know my cars. Oh, he says it was a Pontiac Fiero. Well, anyway, whatever it was, they made it go out into space. Um, so speaking of that, I like the serious Sean better than I like the clowning around Sean, but because they made him more Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure than they did, hanging out with his friends, having a good time. I, you don't have to make the character, you know, look kind of stupid to have him have a good time with his friends. Um, Unless that's what, he would normally be like, and then, I guess I'm just being too judgmental there, but he did come off more uh, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, from Ted. And I'm glad that Keanu Reeves got out of those kind of roles because, it makes the actor seem like that's all they can do. And him and Brendan Fraser, got out of that by doing more serious roles, like Keanu Reeves does Speed. He's on, not does Speed. I'm saying he acted in the movie Speed. Sorry, I did not mean to like start a rumor there. Bad wording, bad wording. Very bad wording. Um anyway, he's in the movie Speed, and he's I think he's the John Wick, and I know there's other movies I've seen him in where he's a serious character. Uh, well, okay, I can't think of any right now, but I know there's some more movies where he's a serious person. Um, anyway, and I like that better than the dude, because that just the way that they portray them when they're uh like, oh, he was in Point Break. He was definitely a serious character there. That's one of my favorite movies I've got on YouTube right now. Um, but when you start out your acting life, playing the like surfer dude that doesn't necessarily have two brain cells to rub together, it's probably hard to get out of that. Because everybody's going to want you to play that character because you're so good at it. Or they're going to think, or your fans are going to think you're like that in real life. I think that's partly why Elvis Presley isn't around anymore, is because he wanted to be a serious actor, and they're like, dude, you sing. You are a singing person. And they would not let him out of that, so then they ended up making the Elvis movies, which most of them are, most of them are great. They're awesome. Or I've only seen a handful of them, and they are awesome. But then there's some others, like I did not get Charo. I just did not understand Charo. But I loved Kissing Cousins, and I loved Viva Las Vegas, Clam Bake, Harem Scarum. Yeah. Um, I want to say it's Girls, 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 um, where he's singing Thanks to the Rolling Sea. I like that one too. I'm on the fence whether I like the one where he's the um, Carnival Ranch hand person. I can't remember which movie that is, but I want to see the one. They're talking about it in like the second episode of Full House, um, where he played a busboy. It was something about being a two-fisted girl chasing busboy or something like that. I can't remember. I want to see if that's actually a real. Oh, I love Blue Hawaii. I forgot about that one. I'm sorry. I love Blue Hawaii as well. Um, but I remember. Yeah, they said in one of the episodes of Full House. Okay, so what I was trying to say is that I want to see if that's even true. Is he really a busboy? Is he really fighting with other people, what the deal is. But in another episode, when the one where they go to Hawaii, and um, Jesse's treating it like it's, uh, the Graceland tour. And, Jesse would totally want to go to Graceland because, that's Elvis. Yeah. What? Has nothing to do with it. I talk about everything on my streams. I think my viewers have gotten used to it. Um, but he was, he said that something about it was something about Elvis jumped off of this, in Blue Hawaii, and it's like, no, he didn't. I don't remember him being in that exact spot in the Full House episode in Blue Hawaii at all whatsoever. But only a true Elvis fan would have known that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, they weren't known for their continuity. He's quoting one Dr. Seuss book in one of the first season episodes, and he's clearly reading from the other. They both have Horton in them, but one of them's Horton hears a who, and one of them's Horton hatches the egg. Yeah, unless your kids know those books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Unless your kids know those books perfectly and you've read them to your kids 1,000 times, you probably wouldn't notice. And I didn't notice when I was a kid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which I think is kind of. I mean, not when I was a kid. I think I was watching them when I was like 10 and above, but we hadn't read the Dr. Seuss books yet. They either weren't around when I was a kid or we just didn't get them because I think they're all hardback, so they were probably like $25. Anyway, there would have been more expensive books. But you waited until now to turn off? Wow. Okay, anyway. Anyway, they were kind of expensive books, but we could have gotten them at the library. I don't know. Maybe my mom didn't know about the Dr. Seuss books yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. But on the other hand, we've been watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've been watching Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas as long as I can remember. I don't know. But there's a big difference between the book and the movie. The book, I expected it. Okay, it's a Dr. Seuss book. I expected it to be rhymey. Like one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. This one has a little star. This one has a little car. How many fish there are, something like that. I pretty close quote if I didn't get it correct. Um, I think it's my what a lot of fish there are. Something like that. Anyway, I expected it to be rhymey. And you go and try to read that book, it ain't rhymey. Like, parts of it were rhymey, but a lot of parts were like, you missed. um, it just wasn't quite what I was expecting. Or or like, uh, uh um, 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 green eggs and ham. Of course, one of my favorite parts, and not everybody's gonna remember this, and I think it's from One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, but something about uh, it was something about his name is Ned, and this is his little bed, but when he does this, his feet stick out the one side, um, and then if he does this, his head sticks out the other side. So, it's no win situation. But for some reason, it's one of my favorite parts. And then there's this other one where the only parts I can remember right now are his teeth are gold, and now his story's all told. There's a lot more to that, but that's the only part that I can remember right now. It's been a long time since I read Dr. Seuss. Um, I think I actually liked Dr. Seuss more than my kids did, so. Okay, so like I grew up knowing that Dr. Seuss books were supposed to be good, but we never read any. And I didn't understand until my brother got some what they were all about. I used to love reading him Green Eggs and Ham. And I was so jealous because mom got him this really cool set with like 30 of the Disney stories on, with the tapes and everything. And he had a really good memory. So at one point in time, he's like, um, he was like 3 years old, maybe, maybe four. I don't think so, but maybe four. Anyway, I seem to remember he was at, too young an age to learn how to read, but he was, uh, he had memorized, we assume, he had memorized the whole entire book, so he could tell you what was on every single page. And, he made it look like he was definitely reading the book. And we don't know if he actually was or not. He's the only one that can tell us. But I do remember that my mom was told me that, and I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe he did learn how to read. I don't know. I mean, I know he learned how to read now, because obviously he's able to get jobs and hold them and everything. Um, anyway. Anyway. Yeah, so we talk about a whole bunch of stuff in this stream. Um, in case you're new to watching my streams. Um, but yeah, I was telling you about my stories. So, so that's what happened to the first three characters, and then there's gonna be Jake. Jake started life on the ship like most everybody else, but then when he was 11, his dad was diagnosed with cancer. So they had to move off the ship, move to Australia. It's generically in the middle of Australia. Maybe an hour away from Alice Springs, something like that. And I didn't even know Alice Springs was going to be there. I just decided, okay, this is what the map says is there, and they're supposed to be in Australia. And the only idea I had was that I definitely wanted it to be out in the bush kind of area. And so our cat snores really loudly. Anyway, I knew I wanted it to like be out in the, less traveled area. And that's pretty much all I knew, is I wanted it to be in the less traveled area. So in my head, Australia is, yeah, I mean, it's got all that stuff that it has in Crocodile Dundee, where it's got, like the Australian trees, and it's got kangaroos running around, and that small pool with a giant crocodile in it, and it's got all the generic Hollywood Australia stuff in it. Um, because I've never been to Australia. And actually, because of the crocodiles, if there really are crocodiles there, I assume there are, I don't know if I would want to go there. I'm a little, I'm like, I want to go to Disney World, but the crocodiles, crocodigators, I'm going to call them, because, I don't know if they're crocodiles or alligators. I think they're crocodiles, though. Um, anyway, the crocodigators were, like a whole family. They just decided, I want to go to Disney World today. And they did. They had to go and keep people out of that part of the park. Another day, I don't remember which Disney park, but it was one that has Tom Sawyer's Island in it. They said it was Disneyland, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, one of the cast members, question mark, went into the Tom Sawyer cave and was like, oh, because Winnie the Pooh was there. And I don't mean the cuddly type. I mean, there's like a full-grown grizzly in there. And so they decided to, block everybody off from going to Tom Sawyer's Island until the bear left. That was, some scary news there. Of course, we had some scarier news at one point. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. Perfect. We had some scarier news at one point because our kids live with their aunt and uncle. They're not kids anymore; they're both adults, but they live with their aunt and uncle. And so, um, we were reading on Facebook or some kind of internet thing that the Walmart in where they lived, one, two, three, four, five at the time, had gotten shot up by um, somebody. I was gonna say by the bad guys. Um, and and I found out that our kids were uh, at that Walmart sometime that day. And I'm like, oh. So I think I reached out and it turned out that they were there later that day or earlier that day. So nobody got shot. It was perfectly fine. I mean, well, none of our people got shot. I think somebody did get shot. But I don't remember them saying anybody died. Because you can get shot and totally live now. They've got excellent technology. It's not like on the movies where, um, you know, I think Bruce Willis in Die Hard got shot 16,000 times and he's still alive. I'm totally exaggerating the number, but he did get shot a lot. And he's still alive, you know? But then there's like I can't think of anybody else at the moment who gets shot. Um but like there's TV show like TV shows like Blue Bloods where the person gets shot one time and they bled out instantly. It's like, what the heck? Make up your mind. Do we have technology or do we not have technology? Like, well, since I brought up Blue Bloods, Frank Reagan got shot and he's just fine. It's played by Tom Selleck and he used to be Magnum PI. Um, I thought that was really cool that, he was Magnum PI and now he's Frank Reagan. It's one of my favorite TV shows. But, just like the Dukes of Hazzard, part of my favoriteness of the show is that they eat together. They're a church-going family. Danny doesn't always act like it, but they're a church-going family. They go to church and they, uh, you know, well, they're Catholic, so they go to confessional, but still, it's good family stuff. Even though the rest of the content isn't usually family friendly, because there's usually somebody getting killed or trying to explode a bomb or something. Okay. So, so, so I was telling you about Jake. So he ends up, moving to Australia with his mom and his dad. And his dad's got a best friend named Wesley. Now, Wesley is an Aborigine, actually. Um, they, but instead of dressing up in the um native Aborigine clothes, where it's like that loincloth thing that they show in uh Crocodile Dundee, he wears like shorts and probably a t-shirt, tennis shoes. I mean, sneakers, whatever they're calling them nowadays. Um, when I was a kid, I called them tenna shoes because that's what it sounded like. I don't know if that's what mom was actually saying, but yeah. And at some point in time, I loved getting Punky Brewster shoes. I don't know why. But I would get the regular shoes, and then all of a sudden, like high tops were a really big thing. So I got the high tops one year, and I felt very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So this may seem a little annoying that I'm counting this off and making sure it's perfectly correct and everything, but a good rule of thumb is that when you're building something, yeah, I don't know why it's rule of thumb. That's just okay. So like the other day, um, like uh, not yesterday, but the day before that, I think. I was wondering. Okay, so I was half listening to Antiques Roadshow while I was editing chapter 12, and they said something about the Boston Tea Party. So then I was suddenly wondering, and this should have been a question in my head a lot sooner. I was suddenly wondering, did the tea kill the fish? And I did not think to ask Google because I didn't think that Google would have the answer. I really didn't. But apparently Google did because my sister went and asked Google. And yeah, I've said that several times and they're not listening. Thank God. Anyway, and she asked, and no, it did not. It made the fish taste a little funny, a little different, but it did not hurt the fish. I'm thinking that's one of those things that they should teach you in school. Usually they're focusing on, this is what the people did to make things better, but, you know, then somebody's wondering, did it actually make things better? Yeah, and my husband's probably right that nobody was thinking about fish when they threw that tea overboard. It was a political statement thing, and nobody was thinking about it. But I'm thinking, like and if there had been environmentalists and people that because I can't think of what the term is, but and people that love animals, they probably would have been like, "Excuse me, sir, why did you throw that tea into the thing? And excuse me, do you realize that that could have killed the fish?" And yeah, I don't know. I think somebody would have gotten sassy about it. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, we're gonna put one here. So one, two, three, four, five. We end up with six technically because of that one, but that one doesn't exactly count because this. So I got birthday money the other day, and I was very, very happy about that. Very happy. Although she used to only give 25 for birthdays, and I mean, they used to only give 25 for birthdays. I feel like I got overpaid, you know, because they sent 50. I very much appreciate it. And so far, I've gotten uh, a raspberry tea and a Gatorade. I would have gotten more raspberry tea, but they didn't have more on the shelf, and I didn't feel, I really wasn't feeling up to walking around that day for some reason. I've been fine since the surgery, but like that day I was feeling yucky. Not like sick yucky, just like a drain on my batteries kind of thing. Obviously, people don't have batteries, but you get what I mean. Um, I just felt wobbly is the best way that I could say it, which is kind of funny because Unspeakable's been doing wobbly life. I don't get the appeal, but apparently he's been going with, okay, I want to stream, but I don't know what I want to stream. So then he's been streaming whatever people want him to stream. So yeah, unlike me where I'm like, you are stuck with whatever I'm streaming this day. Which is usually, perfectly fine with most people. I was very surprised because I went and posted one of my videos recently, and 51 people had watched it the day after I posted it. And it was one of these. So hot in here. Oh, I need to fill up the kitty's water bowl. I need to find a way to do the litter boxes today. Technically, they're supposed to be done on Mondays, and today is Sunday, but I didn't get to do them last week, or this past week because of my surgery. I was gonna do it, like I had just gotten off, so I could, and then I'm like, no, this hurts too much. And he wanted to take me to the clinic because it's a lot closer, and I'm like, no, this is bigger pain than that. They couldn't do anything last time, literally they couldn't do anything last time, so, you know, I just wanted to go to the hospital, and that's what we ended up doing. And then it ended up being worse than I thought it was. Wow. So anyway, Jake's dad's friend Wesley, um, gets asked to take care of Jake and his mom Jane. Um, if anything happens to Timothy, that's Jake's dad. And of course, uh, with cancer that didn't get caught in time, he ends up passing away. So Jane and Wesley, they were friends for the longest time. Well, over time, they become more than just friends. One, two, three, four. Okay. Anyway, they become more than just best friends. More than friends. And they start kind of doing dating kind of stuff. But anyway, on Jake's 16th birthday, because Michelle's been on the ship this whole time, on Jake's 16th birthday, it turns out that there's a new girl in school, and she got invited to the birthday party by Wesley's son, Hunter. And it just happens to turn out to be Michelle. And of course, Jake is totally odd. Like, they were pretty much dating since the day that he was born. And, that's a whole wall. Cool. It's in the wrong wall, but it's a whole wall. Wow. So anyway, they start dating, but there's a problem. She's there with her mom. She's taking care of her mom because her mom got stabbed by a sword, and um, so she's got a weak heart because of that, and she needs extra care. So Michelle had to, move off the pirate ship and into a house down the street from Jake and Jane, which it's down a country road kind of street. Still paved and everything, but anyway, of course, they start dating, and at one point, her dad thinks that he was trying to get kisses from Michelle, and Jake had that in mind, but he was determined to not let it happen the way Michelle wanted it to. So anyway, her dad gets very angry. Is this even right? No, it's supposed to connect up over there. Duh. Oh my goodness. I've been a little off since Monday. Anyway, so they start dating and everything. Well, all of a sudden, her mom passes away. Her dad wasn't there. He's away on the ship. And Child Protective Services gets involved. I don't know if Australia even has Child Protective Services, but they do in America. So I'm an American writer. That's what ended up happening. Anyway, so she gets sent to her aunt who lives in France. And So, Jake is very upset. Michelle's very upset. Um, Jake, when he gets upset like that, he likes to run red lights. And he ends up getting sent to um, either juvenile hall or jail. I think jail. Anyway, so he's like stuck there until he's uh 19 or 18, so 21, I don't know, whatever age. And so he can't go look for Michelle. Well, Michelle was gonna return in about 2 weeks because that's when her birthday was. But an enemy pirate walked up to her aunt's name is Sheila. And that's pretty much because Crocodile Dundee says, well, oh, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Anyway, Crocodile Dundee and his girlfriend, who ends up being his wife in the third one, um, Sue. Yeah. Sue is wanting to go with him, and she goes, I know, Sheila would only slow you down. So I think that's why her name is Sheila. But anyway, the enemy pirate goes and knocks on the door and breaks in uh and shoots Sheila and yeah, shoots her dead. Um and they kidnap Michelle. So then Jake has no idea where she is. Well, Michelle ended up at Shatana's too, but Hayden had not discovered that yet, so he couldn't get Jake to go. Well, then he does get Jake to go because he convinces Jake that this Irish girl that he's been talking to the whole time is Morgan, and is the Morgan that they're talking, I mean, that he's been talking about this whole, I mean, that they used to live with on the ship and, all that stuff. And anyway, Jake finally goes in. Well, he sees this other girl coming down the stairs. She's about to go out on a date, and it just happens to be Michelle. So they like go into the old routine of uh you know giving kisses, and they like decide that they want to stay there so they can get to know each other again, but she's got to go. She's got to go on that date. So so she goes off on the date and he stays there, and they talk to Morgan instead. But anyway, and she's got a big secret, and I will leave that for you to read. That'll be in Finding Love as soon as I can get Finding Love to be a edited book, because I think it's missing some things. If I remember correctly, it's missing a lot of things. Maybe I put them in already, but I think it's missing some things. Or it's not long enough, something like that. Because my goal is to make every single one of my books at least 300 pages. And that is because uh, one of my teachers in high school was, tired of getting, like, say, the Dr. Seuss book report. So she's like, I want you to read a book, and it has to be at least 300 pages long. And I'm like, what is there to read? Because this was before Harry Potter came out. I would have totally read Harry Potter. But it was before Harry Potter came out. And so the books that I was reading at the time were only 150 pages. And I didn't know that you could take like 3 books and because one of the girls, there was the Sweet Valley High series, and 3 of the books were connected. So I didn't know you could do that. So I read Braveheart, and somehow my book report got out of my backpack, because I remember putting it in my, binder in my backpack, and then it just wasn't there. So yeah, it wasn't funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Perfect. Anyway, I'm determined to get some of the household stuff done today. I want to get the litter boxes done, even though it's a day early. And I want to get the next chapter edited. I only have 5 pages left. It's 7.5 pages. I've got 5 pages left. I can do this, And then the next book is like, the next book is like, the next chapter is like 4.5 pages or something like that. It's not very much. There's, some weirdness in a good way. Let me check. I put it under here. Oh, that was something that was a little annoying. Instead of spelling Denise the way you normally do, Denise, Denise. I had to spell it DE or DA. It sounds the same. NIECE. In order for the audio to get it. I didn't spell it like that in the book, but. Oh no, I stand corrected. Okay, I get done with chapter 13 and I've got 19.5 pages to work on. Okay. Chapter 14 is 19.5 pages. Wow. That's a lot. So, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to leave you here for a minute because I need to go upstairs. I'll be back as soon as possible. Okay. Sorry about that. Pretty sure that was really boring. Um, Although you could see my build from back there, so. So, so one of my stories coming up. Oh, that the one that I was just telling you about with Jake. That is from a book called Finding Love. Because he had to go and find her. um, so one of my stories coming up, I want to say it's Sweet Revenge. Might be the one after that. Raphael gets kidnapped. I know, I haven't introduced you to Raphael yet. But Raphael likes Pepper. I don't think I've introduced you to Pepper either. But they are dating in that one? Oh, okay. Yeah, they were dating in that one. They're also kissing, but that's not the point here. Um, anyway, so Raphael gets kidnapped. I don't remember the details right now. That really sucks. But he ends up getting. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, they weren't dating. They were on their honeymoon. That's what it was. It just suddenly came back to me, oddly enough. Okay, so what the heck? Oh, because I covered up the thing. Okay. If you cover up the video, the computer thinks that everything is turned off and the video doesn't exist. It's really weird. Um. Anyway, so they were on their honeymoon, and they were driving around in Italy, and they were trying to get to this one restaurant, which Raphael's grandma and grandpa um, met at or had their first date at. I can't remember exactly what I wrote in. Like I come up with this stuff off the top of my head and I write it down so I don't have to remember it, but sometimes you want to know those details. But anyway, his grandma and grandpa were there and they enjoyed the food and he's eaten there once and he thought it was good then too. And anyway, he wanted to take her there. And, he wants to take Pepper there. But instead, he gets kidnapped by some bad guys. Um, what was the guy's name? I know it started with a D. Okay, so I can't remember the guy's name right now. But he owns the Honey Ranch. And it's another place that we don't talk about on stream. Minecraft stream. We talk about it on GTA stream, but not Minecraft stream. Um, anyway. Anyway, so they get put in this one room, and she gets sold to Shatana's, and he gets sold to these other guys and ends up in Spain. And I don't know if it's the Spain houses or the South America houses that have this, but in my Spanish book for school, to learn Spanish, they were showing a house, and it like had the house on the outside, and the yard was a, a area like inside the house. I mean, it's still light out into the sun and the blue sky and all that, but it's like in the middle of the house, with the house around it. And I thought that was pretty cool. So in this case, that's what I did. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, okay. I still don't understand how I screwed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Anyway, so he ends up in this, at this house in Spain, and there's a guy there that uh, Raphael knows, and Raphael starts using his more colorful words in Spanish, um, yelling at this guy, and he goes, "Don't start cussing at me in my own language." And Raphael goes, "Well, you shouldn't have taught me, you shouldn't have taught me those words." It's worded different, but basically that's what the thing was. And then he ends up going. Where did he end up going? Well, anyway, he ends up going somewhere else. And then he ends up, at some point, he ends up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He ends up on this pirate ship. And they're having an epic battle between the Chinese pirates and the ones. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they end up having this epic battle. That's what happened was the pirate a set of pirate bleh, a pirate captain and his crew, or part of his crew anyway, go and buy Raphael from the auction. And it turns out that in his younger days, Raphael knew this guy, and they know his fighting style, and that he will do anything that he can, including killing people, to get off that ship and get where he wants to go. So they were going to go and take him home, but the Chinese pirates, found the ship, and they have this epic battle where Raphael is translating, so everything that's said in Chinese. I think it's Scottish pirates on the other side. So, everything that's said in Chinese is translated into Scotland talk, because I don't know if they've got Gaelic, or I think it's Gaelic. Um, yeah, I think I looked it up one time and it was Gaelic, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, but anyway, it gets translated into Gaelic, and everything that's in Gaelic gets translated in Chinese, and you know, finally the Chinese win, and Raphael's like, "Well, what if I don't want to go with you guys?" And the guy says, "I could kill you right now," and he goes, "Fine, I'll go with you guys." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright. That was this side, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, that was this side. Alright. So anyway, after he's with them, they end up going to New York, and he's sold to the Sicilian mafia. Anyway, more stuff happens after that, but you're gonna have to read to find out exactly what happens. You know, whether he gets back to Pepper safely or not. Okay, so I think we've already established, already decided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, okay. Um, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Perfect. Okay. We already got that wall set up, ready to go. We just need to, like, we need to take the houses out. We needed to take the houses out. We really did. That's why I've been taking parts of the houses out. Okay, so then we gotta do this on the green side so we get correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Which means that this is 31. I probably just got confused and thought it was 29 instead of 30. Or at that spot, it was 29 instead of 30, and I really screwed up. Messed up. I keep saying screwed up, but I think I'm going to get some kid in trouble. And he's going to go, but the YouTuber lady said it in that way. And I'm going to be like, oh no. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Knowing my luck, it'll be a nice Christian mom that's like, you know, you don't talk that way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I'm not trying to please everybody, but I am trying to make sure I don't get anybody in trouble. Don't want to teach them bad habits. What? No, I don't want to teach. He said at least not too many. Um, yeah. I don't want to teach anybody any bad habits. Although I am teaching y'all a bad habit of, streaming for 3 hours. It's actually a good habit, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But, every day. But it's actually getting this done, so it's actually getting this done, so not too bad. And this time I am determined that before we make any videos on the whole project with the I don't understand why this is going on like that though. It's both going that way and that way. Oh, maybe because at one point in time, to get it to go back over there, that's what, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this build so far. Um, well, the pirate ship isn't exactly the way I had it before. I know I had it longer than that. And it just seems so tiny and little. But I was trying to build it the way that I had it before. I was trying to build it the way I had it before, and the way it's supposed to be. And I don't know how I did it, but it just ended up smaller. What else can we talk about? We can talk about Meow. Are you complaining about the amount of food in the bowl? Okay, let's check the amount of food in the bowl real quick. Ow. You know, we had, and just because I didn't want to get up, we had popcorn chicken last night. And that popcorn chicken is pretty good. What is that, great value? Yeah, it's great value popcorn chicken. It's pretty good. Oh, and we finally found something. I am so happy we found this. They've got chips. They're made with avocado oil. At Costco. Not an advertisement for Costco, but well, it's kind of an advertisement for the chips, but I'm not getting paid for it. um, I mean, I guess it's kind of an advertisement for Costco, but no, I'm not getting paid for it. I like Costco. Except for that, right now they've got a sample table. That's what it's called. I was trying to call it a taste test, and that's not it. But sample table, it's got a whole bunch of Hispanic stuff on it, like enchiladas and other things made with tortillas. And I'm like, I could probably eat that. I probably could. But should I? I don't know about that. Okay, so see, we got like two halves of a. It doesn't work. What? What's the matter, baby? You don't know what the matter is, do you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. So I keep hoping that one of these is like 31 and then I could put the road back where it was. But right now I'm facing the challenge of I'm going to end up having to change where a bunch of this stuff is, and it's not going to be fun. Okay, for double checking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yep. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So far, that's all great. Except for the houses. Yeah. We'll get there. How many more blocks do we have to go? Probably. Well, okay, so those are. Uh. So yeah, we only got like a couple of blocks of just. Um. Yeah, we got a lot to go. Okay. Anyway, I would like to get this done, this part of this done before I stream again. Um, yeah, because right now I'm being faced with this needs to go over one more, all the way that way. Needs to go over one more. And I have to go and move this waterway over one. And this is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, so I got to make sure that this is 1, 2, 3. And then I've got to go and build the car dealership over here. He kept that because that was that house right there. Anyway, yeah, we've got a lot to go. But we've got to figure it out, We've got to figure it out sometime. And, I'm doing this. It's kind of annoying, but at least it will be right. It will be correct. And then we can go and build all of the streets all the way out as far as we need to, and then we can start building town. And like I said, I think I'm going to try to build the movie theater a little less small. It's supposed to be small. It really is. But I'm going to try to build it a little less small because, um, it ends up being like maybe the 30 plot across. And I don't like that idea. Oh, I never went over there. Oh, okay. We will figure this out. Okay, so we'll figure this out and then either next time, because like I said, I need to adult a little bit. I definitely need to do the litter boxes, but the problem is that I can't really bend forward that much without hurting something. Are you talking to me without talking to me? Okay. What's you playing anyway? Oh, he's playing House Flipper. That does kind of sound like a fun game, especially if it's on Game Pass. Oh, it's on Game Pass. Okay. Kind of sounds like a fun game, like to do when I need to get the 8 Game Pass games done. But last time I added a game, um, that wasn't Lone Mountain, because Lone Mountain seems to be uh, not that bad on computing power, but last time I tried to add a game, it was saying, you need more memory space. And it's like, excuse me, this is an Xbox Series S. I mean, no, Series X. I used to have the S. It's like, this is an Xbox Series X. Where are you getting that I need more power? I mean, more computing? More room? There you go. Where are you getting that I need more space? But, yeah. So, um, not the point here. Anyway, this what I'm doing right now, I will probably be doing on the next stream. 'Cause I want to adult first. But we still got 13 minutes to go, and I'm trying to stay on schedule today. Trying. Not saying I'm going to, but I'm trying to stay on schedule. No, of course I blew off course. Of course I blew off course. Don't do that. I will totally start quoting that. Honey, it was making me dizzy yesterday. Or wobbly or something, and something was not right. That was so weird. We're just playing Sea of Thieves. Usually it makes me a little dizzy because of the ocean. But the rest of the stuff shouldn't have made me dizzy at all. And, I just wasn't feeling quite right. I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, so I'm gonna continue it on over that way again. And then I'm gonna come back without putting anything up because, I just need this right now. So I know where the walls are. So yeah, the chapter I'm working on, 13, is 7.5 pages. I've gotten 2 done. So I'm pretty happy about that. But then the next chapter, like I said, 19.5 pages. It's crazy. Chapter 15 is only 3.5 pages, so I can probably get that and chapter 16 done, no problem. chapter 16 is 5.5 pages. So I've been known to do, a lot of pages, but I don't know if I'm gonna end up doing that. So I've got itchy spots where they um where they made the incisions, and I'm one of those. Okay, confession, I am actually one of those people that if they've got like like a paper cut and it makes a little bit of a scab, I will pick at the scab. So I'm like so trying not to pick at this because it could cause issues. It's not like a regular. It's not like you got a small cut on your thumb and then, it's not going to cause any problems at all. Um, but yeah, I end up doing that, but one of the incisions is kind of bugging me right now because it's healing. When it gets itchy like that, it's healing. So try to leave it alone if you're like me. What you eating? Oh. That is not a breakfast. The banana does not count as breakfast. He ate one of my bananas. But it's okay. I don't, yeah. I, I had a really bad sore throat after this whole thing. And it was just in one spot, though. It was like, they usually give you a breathing tube. It was like the breathing tube had scraped part of my throat, and uh oh no, I'm on the sidewalk, huh? Yeah. Okay. So it was like the breathing tube had scraped the inside of my throat, so it was enough to. So it was sore, but not like stop talking kind of sore. It was weird. But I don't have to have that now because it finally got better. It's not 100%, but it's a lot better. But there's still the thing of in my stomach area, there's a spot that still hurts a week later. And I don't know if that's normal or not. I'm thinking no. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We will get it, we'll get it looked at if it needs to be looked at. And the thing that's bugging me the most, though, is that I'm not breathing the same way that I was before. It's, my breathing is, my breathing's weird anyway, but I, have been breathing like I've been crying for a while, and I don't think that's normal. But I don't know what to do. So it's like if I told him if it goes beyond tomorrow, because it'll be a week, that we're gonna have to go in and hopefully we'll be able to do something. We'll be able to figure it out because I think I breathe below average anyway, and then now all of a sudden I'm breathing like I've been crying. Yeah, the halting breath. Um, the halting breath thing, and I don't like that. What else can I tell you about my stories, though? While I have you here. Um, well, I told you about the crate, and I just told you about Raphael. Um, what else? See, I don't want to. Okay, so I don't want to tell you too much stuff from the books after Lessons in Love because it'll give stuff away. But then, after that book, um, well, no, after that book, and it'll give stuff away. It's hard trying to figure out what I can tell and what I can't tell. Cause, like I'm trying to give you guys enough, you all enough information that you'll want to buy the books. You'll want to see how things happen. You'll want to see how things turn out. Um, like in Lessons in Love, Sean and Ashley start actually dating. Boyfriend, girlfriend, everything. And then all of a sudden something happens and Sean can't take the pressure of it, so he backs out. He breaks up with her. And then all of a sudden somebody is trashing his truck. They start out uh, keying Ashley's symbol. What is Ashley's symbol? Oh, a heart with an A in it. Um, they start keying Ashley's symbol under the uh, spot where you put the key in. And then at some point, the tires get all flat. And another time, the whole entire truck gets trashed. My husband says the truck didn't do anything to that person. It shouldn't have had to suffer. But it's like Sean's prized possession. That's the reason why it got the treatment it got. Well, I don't write Transformers books, so it can't like come to life and do anything to her anyway. Were you just painting the window? Okay. As long as you weren't painting the window. Usually usually video games won't let you paint the window if it's, that kind of game anyway. Well, okay, he can tint the window on some games, he says. I haven't seen him tint the windows. I'm not disbelieving the information. I'm just saying I haven't seen him tint the windows. Uh, okay. Hey, I just thought of something. On Thursday, unless my husband gets a call between now and then, we can play GTA and we can do interesting stuff, not just the pizza delivery and the pictures and stuff like that. And he can help me figure out where the animals are. Some of them. Well, okay, so I ended up looking them up, but he knows the map better than I do because there's not like words on the map saying that this is this place and this is that place. Like the poodles were supposed to be found in um Rock what? Rocklin? Yeah, Rockwood. Yeah, Rockland, I think. Anyway, they're supposed to be found in Rockland, and I could not find the dang poodle anywhere. And then there's this building that is kind of orangey and maybe yellow, but yellow orangey, and that's where I finally found the dang poodle. I said it differently on the GTA stream. It still started with a D, but I got angry at that poodle. That ended up being at least 4 hour stream. I think it was even longer than that. And most of it was I was trying to find this poodle. But I ended up, delivering pizza. I delivered the cars from the car wash. I delivered the cars that you change the stuff on it. Like they bring you in a blue car. They want a green, they want it green now. Repair shop. Yeah, but if it's a repair shop, auto body shop. Well, you can repair it too, but it's mostly an auto body shop. Like you don't got turbo in your car, now all of a sudden you do. But it's dumb choices. Like you want a turbo on your, I mean, they want a turbo on their car, but then they want street brakes and street tires. Makes no sense at all whatsoever. If I was gonna have a turbo on my car, I don't like the turbos though because they're too much for me to handle. But if I was going to, I would definitely have off-road tires and racing brakes or something like that. And I don't remember which brakes I'd choose. Ugh. You know, if I get done with certain things today, the litter boxes and chapter 13. I thought it was kind of funny when I was doing chapter 11 because that's like when you go bankrupt. We've never gone bankrupt. Have we never gone bankrupt? Yeah, we have not gone bankrupt. I know somebody who did, but well, I wasn't gonna say that on stream. Green? Cool. It's like a mint green. He's saying lime, I'm saying mint. Okay, the game calls it lime, but it's more of a mint green. It's not like mint ice cream green though. Somewhere in between. But anyway, it's a nice color. If we ever get to like paint the inside of our house, I would definitely have it not be white walls anymore. I don't know. We'd have to go look. Okay, so there used to be a show. No. There used to be a show called Trading Places or Trading Spaces. No, Trading Spaces, yeah. Anyway, and it was like a British show, if I remember correctly. And, like two households, there's like neighbors, and they think that they know the other neighbor's taste very well, and they would go and literally trade spaces, you know, and decorate their neighbor's house the way that they think that they would like it. And it was really neat because sometimes, a lot of the times they're like, oh, I would have never thought of doing that. And, they loved it. But then there were some episodes where they're like, "You don't know me at all." Like say they were uh Giants fans, so black and orange, and they decorated the whole entire thing in Raiders or something like that. That's two different teams too. I mean, two different sports too. Giants is baseball. Baseball. Yeah. There's also a Giants football team, but I was talking about the baseball one. And then Raiders is Vegas. Vegas Raiders. That don't sound right. We're used to it being the Oakland Raiders. And it ain't the Oakland A's either, so. They moved to Sacramento. They moved to Sacramento? Hey, that would be easier to get to for a baseball game. I don't know of any baseball diamonds in the greater Sacramento area. Maybe Arco Arena, but I thought that was all enclosed. I don't know. Well, okay, so it would be a lot easier to have a baseball game in an indoor situation for one reason. It can't rain. So, if it doesn't rain, there's no mud, you can still play. But I don't know if that was their logic on the idea, or if they're just being weird, or maybe there's something about Sacramento I don't know, that there's this really cool baseball diamond. I don't know. I know they got 4 shopping malls. 4. Or at least they did. Okay, when my brother and sister were little, there was 4. And I'm talking, my brother was a baby at the time. My sister is 10 years, that sister is 10 years younger than me, and my brother is 11 or 12 years younger than me. I think 11 and 4 months or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard. So it's kind of hard to gauge because she's born in October and he's born in March, and I'm July. So I had my birthday last week on Sunday, and that actually went okay. I mean, I was feeling a little off. I was feeling a little off, but we got the popcorn, and we watched the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. I like Sandra Bullock in that one better than I like her in some of the other stuff that I've seen her in. Okay, so we're actually past the 11 o'clock mark, but sometimes I go until 12. Um, we have 102 followers, 1 viewer, which is probably me, and we're at 2 hours and 26 minutes. I don't want to go I don't want to go too far, but I do want to get some of these plots put in, because if I can get 10 of the if I can get 10 streets worth of the plots, then I can go and start putting in. I mean, I can continue putting in the houses and, stuff like that. And it should be good. And then we can, like, when we get that far, we can start putting in town, and we can start putting in the rest of the houses. And but I gotta go and figure out, did I screw up, like, one of them has 31, because if one of them has 31, that would be great. But if one but if they all have 30 and just that one has 29, that would be really bad. I would be very upset about that. Oh, and that line back there, that is just a line I put in. I don't know if that's actually the stopping point or not. I have no idea. Okay, so yeah, this right here is the last thing. Okay. Um, so I think I'm gonna continue doing this, but or no, I can't continue doing this. I gotta have, some more food for one, and for two, I've got to um I've got to do those litter boxes. If I tell Okay, so the idea is that if I tell y'all about the litter boxes, then I will feel guilty if I don't do them, because that's something that I told y'all that I was going to do. And yeah, but it is hard to get up and down because of that one spot that hurts. So, thank God, I it didn't hurt enough that I had to take my medicine, because they gave me medicine for severe pain. And I'm like, okay, because of the way you worded it, because of the way you worded it, the pain that I do have, it doesn't feel severe. But I don't know if that's because, like, adrenaline kicked in, or if it's because it really is not severe. It's like, how am I supposed to understand this? I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? Please leave a comment below. Um, if you just want to talk about the weather or Disneyland or kitty cats or anything that we've discussed in this video today, just, leave a comment. I'm cool with that. If you want to tell me that you're going in for surgery and want you want somebody to talk to about that, that's cool too. I'm good. I will totally talk to anybody about anything that they want to talk about, except for that scary Debbie Stone thing on my America Sings video. I don't like that. I will not talk about that. So there are limitations, but not very many. I'm willing to talk about Disneyland. I'm willing to talk about Minecraft. I'm willing to talk about cats. The videos I've been watching lately on YouTube. Um, um, a lot of things. How I feel about vibrant visuals. Now, somebody said something about there being new shelfie doodles. That's what I'm going to call it right now. And shelfie doodle, because I don't remember if they just call them shelves or if it was a specific name. But I went and looked it up and I didn't see it. And I was a little upset. It turned on by itself. I mean, without having to get jump started. Awesome. Um, I hope so. So I'm sorry about that. I did not expect that to happen. Um, that was okay. It told me that it was gonna die. I don't know if y'all saw that, but it told me that it was gonna die. But it never tells you when it's gonna die. And I expected it to do that a lot sooner. So So I have no idea what we were talking about, and yeah. Oh, we were talking about I'm willing to talk about anything that, or just about anything that you want to talk about. I mean, if you want to talk about doing drugs, I probably don't want to talk about that, or drinking, unless you're plotting how to get John Snyder and his wife to quit drinking so much, and then I will totally join in. um, Okay, John Snyder from the Dukes of Hazzard played Bo on Dukes of Hazzard. He's also done some other. He's also done a lot of other stuff, and he's a singer. Um, he sang with Mississippi Squirrel, Ray Stevens. He sang with Ray Stevens once, and I was like, wow, I didn't know they knew each other. Kind of makes sense, but I didn't know that they knew each other. That is so cool. Um, And if you don't know Mississippi Squirrel, please listen to it. It's a good song. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, he's right. It's Mississippi Squirrel Revival. So part of the story for that song is that this kid got shipped off to his aunt's house for the summer, and he found a squirrel, and he's got a good friend uh, when he goes to visit his aunt, and the friend's name is Hugh. It's not exactly important to the story at all whatsoever. But anyway, he goes and takes that squirrel in a shoebox into church, and you're just gonna have to listen to the song to find out what happens. Um, I didn't write that. I cannot write songs. I've tried. I wrote part of a song, and I would like to get it into the hands of the Griffiths or the Stanley Jones Singers or one of the other ones that I listened to a lot. But it would probably be one of those two families. I would like to get into their hands and see if they can come up with something really good to go with it. Um, So Pastor Sam and his wife, um, one of them was saying anyway, the other one was saying anyhow. So Pastor Sam and Sister Bobby. I think the story goes that they were expecting a boy and they got Bobby instead, and uh, they kept the name. I'm not sure, but I think that's the way the story goes. Um, anyway, so one of them was saying anyway, one of them was saying anyhow, and whichever one, uh, well, I guess he was saying anyhow because that's what I put in as the words to the song. It's it what I wrote was praise God anyhow. So he must have been saying anyhow, and she kept saying it's anyway. But yeah, so Pastor Sam has since gone on his extended vacation, and he's just waiting for Sister Bobby to join him. I haven't gotten any updates, so I'm gonna assume that she's still here with us. I know, never assume. Never, never assume, but I'm just gonna assume. I don't go on Facebook as much as I used to because I figured out after a while that it was taking like all day to be on Facebook, and it's like I've got books to edit, I've got buildings to build, roads to build, stuff like that. I've got kitty litter boxes to do. you know, we got three cats and three kitty litter boxes, and of course the only reason why we have the one upstairs is because the boys were getting a little lazy. Well, actually, they were getting downright lazy. Um, what? Oh, I accused Coral of needing it too, but it was the boys because Coral was hanging out downstairs and I still found a mess upstairs. We cleaned it up, of course, but yeah. So we got three kitty litter boxes. We got one upstairs and two downstairs. The idea was that one of the litter boxes, the third one to come in, was supposed to be strictly for Bobby, but the boys decided that they liked it too, and yeah, so now she doesn't have her very own litter box, but she seems to be okay sharing, which is kind of weird because usually she's like, "Oh, that's a boy." She can't tell the difference between the two. She likes Ben, but for some reason she hates Sam's guts. No, that's because when she first got here, she didn't like either one of them because there were other cats. She's never been around other cats. She's had two doggy sisters. And so she'd never been around cats. She didn't know how they were going to react. Or maybe on her grand adventure, she met a cat that wasn't very nice to her, and that's why she came back. I don't know. But they said that she came back blemish free, and she didn't have any sores on her or bites or anything, so I don't know. I have no idea what happened, and I'm probably happier that way. But I do kind of want to, I do kind of want to come up with some kind of camera that can record what my cats do all day, especially while we're gone. I know they make such cameras, we just need to get it one. But we need to get jobs in the house first, or start selling books. That's what I would really like to do. I would like to be able to get um I'd like to start making book sales. And part of the reason is because I would like to be able to go and hang out with our kids while we uh can still hang out with them, you know. I want to get a medium size. I was gonna say a small, but a medium sized motorhome, and pack all three cats in it, and uh, have a laptop each for us, and if we can do it, the two different Xboxes like we always do. I don't know if we can do that, but I would like to figure it out. Um, well, I guess we can because the show Pimp My Ride, it just means, make my ride look so cool. What's the matter, babe? Uh, could you come here and tell me what's the matter? Please? Okay, obviously I don't understand every word that my cat says, especially when he's talking cat. I mean, speaking cat. Um, but he did actually answer me, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, it's, a lot of times when I go upstairs and I say hi to both of them, he says hi back. It's so cute. We got like the best cats. Bobby kept trying to cuddle with me last night, and I felt so bad because she kept startling me. I know, but she kept startling me because I wasn't expecting it. So, so she started to jump up, and I'd be like, whoa, and then she thought she did something wrong, so she ran away. Yeah, so this is not what I meant to do. It's just what I ended up doing. But I do need to get off of here because I gotta eat. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I did have my banana. You probably didn't even notice. Um, but yeah, I had my banana. I think I had a sip of water, and I did. I need to drink more water. I was having a small problem after the surgery though, because it's like every single drink of water I needed to go upstairs. And it was like, why? I mean, I'm pretty bad. Like if I drink, say half a bottle of water, I probably have to go upstairs shortly after. But that time it was every single drink. But I was trying to stay, I was trying to be good and drink my water and stay hydrated. I'm wondering if maybe I didn't drink water that day. Maybe that's why I was feeling wobbly. I don't know. But it was pretty cool because we got raspberry tea and I got a Gatorade too. I love the lime cucumber Gatorade. It is so good. I was trying to stay hydrated, so Oh, yeah, so I drank that day instead of the other one. My husband's always like, lime cucumber. It's like, yeah, try it. So, and I know I told you 19 and a half. You didn't even try it. See, he doesn't want to try it. He doesn't know what he's missing out on. So I know I told you that chapter 14 is 19 and a half pages, but there is a worse chapter. Where'd it go? Oh, chapter 40 is 33 and a half chapters. And, pages. 33 and a half pages. It's ridiculous. And there's one in here that's 23 and a half, and I think that's so weird that it's and a half all the time, but there's one that's 20 and a half. Yeah, I don't always do that. I try to keep the chapters short because I read this book called The War with Grandpa. And I just thought the title sounded pretty cool. And it's about this kid who normally has his own room in, I want to say, a 3-story house. But because Grandpa came to live with them, he either has to share his room with Grandpa or he ended up in the attic. I, I think he ended up in the attic. Anyway, he ended up in this other room, so they're having a war, I guess. I don't exactly remember, but anyway, he starts out the book saying something about how he likes short chapters. So there's chapters that are 1 page, there's chapters that are 2 pages, usually no more than 3 or 5, like usually no more than 3 or maybe 5 pages. They're short. And I liked that idea, but also my husband said that it ought to be, like, say, Raphael and Pepper are talking in the kitchen, and then the next scene is Sean and Ashley talking in their room. Raphael and Pepper ought to be one chapter, and then Sean and Ashley talking in their room ought to be a different chapter. And I liked the idea, so I went with that. But then, like I said, you get chapters that are 19 and a half pages or 33 and a half pages, and you're like, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But I could easily, if I find out that there's like a subject change like that, I could probably easily break down the 19 and a half or the 33 and a half if I needed to. Because I think the 33 and a half is the whole airsoft thing and then, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just the, although I don't see how we get 33 pages out of that. Anyway, I think it's just the end part, but I don't know. Hmm, good question. Yeah, I guess we'll have to find, y'all will have to buy the book to find out, but it's not available yet. Lessons in Love is definitely not available. I'm working on it right now. I'm on chapter 13, so out of 40. So a lot of it doesn't feel like a lot actually because we're only on page 66. We're on page 66 is the next one that I'm about to edit. Um, You know what? I just decided I have no idea what. Okay. I'm going to take this out there and this is not helping. So I don't always go this, I don't always do this where I'm telling you more about stuff and, going past 11, but this time I felt it necessary because I'm telling you about stories and I'm doing this and getting this all set up I'm procrastinating on being an adult. Um, but yeah, please go on Amazon and check out my books. They are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. Um, and then, coming soon is Lessons in Love, which I think everybody's gonna like Lessons in Love. It, um, I, I personally think that reading Esperanza's Party and then The Island and then Lessons in Love will make it even better. But, because you'll understand what exactly happened to make it the way it was, to make it the way it is in Lessons in Love. My husband thinks that, it's more of a girl thing. Girls will like it more than guys, but, I don't know. I don't know. You might like it either gender, you know. Um, what else is there? Oh, well, there's a book where Sean and Hayden get kidnapped together, and Hayden is still angry at that point that Sean got together with Ashley. He's still angry about that. And so uh oh, what happened? Okay, so they got left on a island out in the middle of not out in the middle of the ocean, but within seeing distance of the mansion. They got left on an island. Morgan was super angry at Hayden, and Sean tried to help Hayden out by doing something nice for him. Well, it kind of backfired because he ended up getting left on the island too. So, well, I guess we could finish it. Anyway, he got left on the island too. Well, they got grabbed by enemy pirates, and Sean keeps sassing off at them, and he ends up getting uh, tied up in the air from the yardarm. If you think of the mast as a person, the yardarm is their arms, and they're held out. Uh, you know, straight on either side. Anyway, he keeps getting hoisted by the yardarm, and then they tie him up, and he escapes the ropes, and then he does some acrobatic moves way up high. And Hayden thinks it's kind of hilarious, even though he doesn't like Sean, but he thinks it's hilarious. He starts laughing, but they've got him tied so tight that he can barely breathe. So, laughing isn't the best thing in the world at that moment. Um, and at one point, Sean ends up falling from the yardarm, so his leg, I think both of his legs got broken. And Ashley and Morgan go to try to rescue them, but Ashley gets captured instead. And it's like one of those things where they didn't know that Ashley got captured until Jesse was the only one who knows. But Sean saw the ship go away. So I guess two people knew. Um anyway, but I don't remember much that happened uh outside of that. I mean, besides that. But it's kind of funny, and it'll make sense when you get to read the it's kind of good that all of a sudden he's talking to Sean like he's a friend instead of an enemy. And it'll make sense when you get to read the whole book. It's something I'm trying not to tell you about. um, there's something I'm trying not to tell you all about because I want it to be a surprise when you read that book. But something's gonna happen that's gonna change Sean's life forever. Okay, so we said that we got all these established and we've got that out there. So, okay. We will try to end in 18 minutes, and if we don't, then yeah. Well, because this is stuff that's been needing to happen, and I mean the stuff that I need to do needs to happen also, but this is stuff that's been needing to happen for a while, and I haven't done it because it's like such a tedious thing, and I had to go and count it out and get it all nice and ready to go. And this project is literally taking forever, but it'll be nice and rewarding when we're done. That would be kind of cool if that tree was actually on the street that it's supposed to be on, but I'm not sure it is. But those are like huge trees. So some of the trees you have to put four of them in the same spot for them to actually grow. It's really weird. Yeah, it keeps asking me, become a channel member over here. And it's like, I would love to. I can't afford it. And then I feel bad because I can't help them out, but I need somebody to help me out before I can help them out. And I am just asking for book sales. Really. Literally. That's all I'm asking for. Um, I know it's on Amazon. But there's ways to get around that. You can go to like Walgreens and get a Walmart gift card. Not a Walmart gift card, I'm sorry. An Amazon gift card. Or you can go to just about any store and get a Visa gift card. And then you don't have to use your own card. You just got to be careful about it, especially at Christmas time, because people will go and do weird stuff to stuff like that. But most of the time it is totally safe. We've done it several times. We usually get Amazon gift cards. We just go and, you know, scratch off the back of the card. I mean, of course, we go and buy it first, but we scratch off the back of the card, put the code in, and it's all good. And you don't have to worry about your personal bank account getting messed up or uh, tampered with in any way. So, that's the way that I recommend doing it, is either getting a Amazon gift card or a Visa gift card for for your Amazon account, and then that gets applied when you buy something. So like if you've got $50 on your Amazon account, you can buy $50 worth of stuff. It's really cool. They don't just have books. They've got furniture. They've got food. Um, Somebody was selling a whole case of grandmother's cookies, the peanut butter kind. I really liked that idea. I wanted to buy that so badly, and then it was like, oh, it's a third party. So, if it's a third party, you don't know if those are good cookies or if they're tainted cookies. So, you gotta be careful about that kind of thing. But, I can have the peanut butter ones. So I was like, I'll have a peanut butter cookie every day. But we never bought them. Or at least we haven't bought them so far. Because, like I said, it was from a third person. It wasn't from actually Amazon themselves. So I'm like, okay, if I'm not getting food actually from Amazon, I don't know if I want to buy it. And of course, that was before they started selling groceries. So maybe I can find what I'm looking for from actually Amazon. Although, do I want to trust Amazon with my food? I have no idea. I know I can trust them with books. I know I can trust them with books. We've gotten over 100 books from them, and some of the books that I got, I thought that was so cool. One came from New York. Another came all the way from Britain. Um, I had them come from so many different places, and I was like, oh wow! I didn't know that they were that popular in other places. I thought they were more of like an American book, but like a whole bunch of people were reading them. And they had copies, and most of the copies looked like they were brand new. It was so cool. Um, but then they were in storage. Anyway. Oh, I didn't. Ow. It's not like an official ow, it's like a tightness. I mean, sometimes it's an official ow, but it's more of a tightness. And I don't know. I keep, okay, so I keep imagining that maybe they left a set of medical scissors in there like they did on. That would suck. Um, that would be bad. Anyway, I keep imagining that they left like a thing of medical scissors in there like they did on the movie Toys. I know on the movie Toys it was probably, um, they were just saying that that's what happened and it didn't really happen that way. But, um, that was a, a silly thing that they put into the movie, that the guy had just had surgery and they left the medical scissors in there. So he said, so I'm feeling better, but I'm having pains that I wasn't having before the surgery. And then, at at that time, uh, you're watching the two soldiers look at the monitor, and clearly they're medical scissors, but they're they're not the smartest tools in the shed, as they say. And it turns out, they were asking, "Is that a listening device?" And you can clearly see their medical scissors. That one had LL Cool J in it too. I'm suddenly wondering what that means. LL, like, is he like little LeBron or something like that? LeBron was the first name that popped into my head. Or little Larry, something like that. Yeah, something that he doesn't necessarily want anybody knowing what it actually means. Um, but yeah, I think he's LL Cool J because he used to be a singer, but then now he's an actor. I'm not entirely sure. Um, yeah, I don't know why he goes by LL Cool J. I just realized that. I mean, it does sound cool though. And okay, I'm not picking on his name at all whatsoever, but it does sound, but sound more inventive than Will Smith. Although I like Will Smith's name too. Of course, a whole bunch of people knew him as a singer, but the only thing I knew him as was um Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So like everybody, I, if I remember correctly, everybody was saying, "Hey, did you hear the new Will Smith song?" And I'm like, I just know him as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, they weren't talking to me about it, but yeah, I just knew him from the show. So, and then he became Mr. Independence Day and iRobot and all them things. Okay, so I think we're almost done with this street. If we're going for deadlines, we got 8 minutes to get to noon. And if you're like, "Are we there yet?" I'm sorry. I was just, I got to telling you about my stories, and this does need to be done, and yeah. Although I'd like to try to finish out the street, get to that street over there, but I don't think that's going to happen on stream. Um, it'll probably happen later. Because like I said, need to do the litter boxes, need to eat first, because I've only had a banana. But I had the banana, so that's important. Um, I didn't starve myself like I usually do. What am I gonna have? So, so I've got a rice cup in there. I'll probably have some of that. And oh, I can probably have the tortilla lunch meat, bacon bits and cheese. I have the vegetable based cheese because I used to have a problem with cheese. I don't know if I still have a problem with it. It seemed like okay, so it seemed like my stomach didn't like it because it was causing a traffic jam. And so, like, rather than having the discomfort of having a traffic jam, I was like, you know what? We'll just have vegetable based cheese. And my husband gets credit for that one because he found it at the store. I think he found it at the dollar store or grocery outlet. And then all of a sudden we found out that the W store has it. And it was like, yeah! Because they have it all the time. The other store doesn't. But anyway, it was like totally awesome. And yeah. So my phone rang yesterday, and I was pretty upset to find out that it was ringing in one of the stores, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I'm over here, and it's his ringtone, but it sounds like my phone. So I finally answered it, and nobody was there. So I don't know if I can even receive calls because every single time somebody's called me, it's been dead air. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. I had a spam call yesterday. They definitely talked. Um, so yeah, I know that I can receive calls. Never mind. They had to change my SIM because when I go to Burger King, it does not like to play nice. We explained about the pregnant battery, and they're like, "Well, yeah, I guess that could uh cause problems." So they went and changed my SIM, and the only thing wrong is that when people call me, it's the wrong ringtone. I like having a nice rotary phone, so, it sounds like a phone. And I've got I've got something else. So I've got to see if I can get that ringtone back again. Because the one that I downloaded, it changed the way it sounded. And I'm like, no, I need it to sound like a phone. A real phone. I want it to sound like my grandma's rotary phone when I was a kid. That's all. I'm not asking for too much. Apparently I am, but I don't think I'm asking for too much. Because nobody wants that anymore. They want the pretty music. And I'm like, I'm one of those people that's literally standing in the store trying to get the stuff that she's shopping for and listening to the pretty music and not answering my phone because that's what's making the pretty music. So I need it to sound like a phone, and it need to be louder too. The ringtone I had was nice and loud, and I didn't think of that. I didn't think that I was going to change anything, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh man, now we need to go to the Verizon again to sort this out. And I don't know if Verizon can help me either, but um hopefully husband can help me. Okay, so literally if I can get to the I think I did, but if I can get to the corner, then we'll end the stream and we'll do this later. Excuse me. See, originally I was going to put the town and then I was going to put all the houses behind it. But I was like, that's not exactly how I imagine it. and the houses aren't exactly how I imagine it either. But uh, all these houses, the regular shaped ones, like that one over there, um, they're representative houses. They could be four bedrooms, they could be two bedrooms. You don't know. um, but the representative houses for whoever lives there, like um like Dawn's house. Dawn is a girl, Dawn. At Dawn's house, we really only know that at some point in time her mom was like in the kitchen and explaining to her father, explaining to Dawn's father that she didn't have anything more for him to drink. And he gets angry about that and isn't very nice. Okay, so one more and then we can end for now. Because like I said, I need to eat and I need to uh, edit the book and do the litter boxes and you know stuff like that. Um, I think it's kind of funny because my sister was giving her cat a bath about once a week or something like that, or once a month. I don't know, something. And uh, she said that she had this one behavior, which I'm not explaining on stream, um, all the time. And since she got to our house, she hasn't been getting a bath as much, and hasn't been having that behavior. So I think that's very interesting. Come on. Oh, and I recently discovered, because Costco switched over to Coca-Cola, which is cool. It's really awesome. I like it. But I found out that I don't really like the raspberry tea that Coke has to offer because it's got a little too much sugar for me. I love the brisk raspberry tea because it doesn't have as much sugar. So, like when we went to Costco, it was better raspberry tea, in my opinion, at that time. But now it's still good. I am totally willing to drink it. I like it, but it's just, it's got just a little too much sugar for me. Like if I went and if I could go and find um tea bags that were raspberry tea, and I think I can, but I'm not sure. Um, anyway, if I could find raspberry tea that I like in tea bags and make up a batch like my mom used to. She probably still does. Uh, but if I could go and make a batch like mom used to, then then I would probably have to make two batches, one the way I used to make it and one the way I would have to make it now. But I'd have to go and experiment with with regular iced tea before I could make it the raspberry. because you get 100 bags with that one, and the recipe calls for 5 bags and like two a 4 quart, so maybe a gallon, um, a 4 quart pitcher. So it's a really easy recipe. You fill up a pretty large pot. No, I mean, I don't want to say a large pot. One of the ones with the handles. I think it was a 4 quart pot, but maybe not. Anyway, and you fill it with water, and you boil the tea bags in it for 5 minutes, and then you go and pour that into the pitcher, and then you fill up the rest of the pitcher with I'm gonna have to ask her what size pot she uses. Um, anyway, and then you fill up the rest of the pitcher with cold water, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and just cool it to taste, and you're good. So yeah, I'm willing to talk recipes too. Now that I think about it, I'm willing to talk recipes. If you would like me to make some of my recipes or show you how my husband makes some of his recipes, he makes more recipes than I do. But if you'd like, us to do some recipes, just let me know. Yeah, now I'm just procrastinating to be procrastinating because I moved on to the next block already. Yeah, I got it. I got an adult. You're guilting me into it. Or I'm guilting me into it by, talking to you about it. Yeah, I gotta eat and I gotta do the litter boxes. It's not my favorite. But if you pretend that it is a scavenger hunt or a treasure hunt, you're trying to find all the treasures. It's not treasure that you actually want to find, but it keeps your cat healthy or your cats healthy, and if you pretend it's a treasure hunt, then it doesn't go so bad. It's not such a chore. And you really just have to get over there and do it. You wouldn't want your cat to get sick because you didn't clean the litter box. Especially since kitty doctor bills are horrendous for certain things. It's $46 just for them to go see the doctor, and then on top of that, whatever money for, like if they had to get shots or if they had to get sewn back together, because that happened to Sam, and that was over $500. But we had to come up with it. So, anyway. I don't actually know that this needs to go out this far. I'm just putting it out this far because it kind of looked like it was as far as it needed to go. But like I said, I have no idea. It could be, too far out. It could be not far enough out. We'll find out one of these days, won't we? So this is the 72nd episode of Fictional Ireland Rebuild. I think that is pretty dang cool. I'm actually trying to keep, an accurate count. Every single time I make a video, I go and double check Twitch and YouTube to see what the number is for the next episode, and I'm trying to keep track. And hopefully this will be done by Christmas. I don't know, because, there's a lot of houses. There's a lot of houses, there's a lot of roads, there's a lot of, you know, uh, the walls around the houses and all that. There's a lot of stuff to build. But, yeah, hopefully, this part with the houses will be done before Christmas. But I am editing that book, so it will probably get a little delayed. But I've been working on this a little every day, and we will see what happens. So, while I am doing this, um, please check out my books on Amazon. Just type in Tina Rash Books, TinaRashBooks. And try not to think about the letter of my first name, the first letter of my first name, and the, whole entire last name, because, that's kind of what I think of sometimes, and I don't like it. But you should find Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. Adopted Coral was actually written before she passed, but it's like, it's like a memory of her, a special little memory. And I literally wrote it in like an hour, but it's only 24 pages, so it makes sense. But I literally just took some pictures that we had in the house at the time. And I wish I would have had a camera this morning because the boys were actually being civil to each other. And, boys get together and they start roughhousing. And then, in the case of my cats, somebody gets bit. But, yeah, I wish I would have had a camera for that. That would have been so cute. But it's nice to see that they're cuddling, because for the longest time, Sam did not want to hang out with Ben, because Ben had done some stuff to Coral, and I'm sure that in her own little way, she told that to Sam, and Sam's like, I gotta protect you now. He was just trying to get kisses, Coral didn't want to give those kisses. She's like, no. She did not want a boyfriend. She just wanted somebody to, cuddle with, but not, not kiss and stuff. She, when we first got her, she had a sister, and she had that sister until they were 3, and then her sister moved out to live with another orange cat in a bush across the street. We never got her back. So I hope she's very happy wherever she is. I hope she is wherever she is. I'm actually wondering, is she still alive? Because Coral isn't, but cats, cats live 2 different lives, so I'm just wondering. But anyway, so there's a lot of cute little information in that book, about Coral's life, and it's from Coral's point of view, so, she's telling the story. And I did not name her Coral. Well, neither one of us named her Coral. She came with that name, and I was like, I don't want to confuse her. So, she's Coral. Although her sister Nancy came with the name Lance because they were convinced that she was a boy. She was a girl. Yeah,
I don't understand how you make that difference, but apparently you can't tell for the first few months, and it turns out that she was a girl. So all of a sudden she needed a new name, and I'm like, I don't know what to name her. I had no ideas. I didn't want to name her something stupid like Tiger. She's an orange cat. I didn't want to name her something like Tiger or Dandelion or something like that. I wanted her to have a real name. So, uh, yeah, we use real names in this house. So, we got Ben and Sam as the other two. And then Bobby, of course, she's named Bobby because she's got a bobbed tail. She doesn't have a regular cat tail. She's got this little short thing. But it's because the breed that she, well, we think it's because of the breed that she is that she's got a shorter tail. But that's becoming a problem, I think, because it's not really helping her navigate very well. Um, and there's no way to, give her a longer tail. So, well, there might be. They got prosthetic tails out there. Eventually, it costs eventually costs the same amount as a uh, person's prosthetic arm or leg, though. I don't actually know. I'm just, throwing it out there that maybe it might be expensive. It's just, sometimes she should be used to it by now, and that's the same cat tree that she's always had. But sometimes it looks like she kind of bonks her head like she didn't navigate quite right, or like she starts to go up and can't quite get there. And I'm hoping that doesn't mean that, because we don't know what happened the first 4 months of her life. We just know that she ended up in the shelter and she got adopted at 4 months by my sister. So, so we don't know, but I hope that doesn't mean like, it's her time. Because I don't think I could go through that again. Not yet, anyway. Okay. So, I will continue this. Well, I don't know if I'm going to continue this while I'm eating breakfast, but I will probably continue this while I'm eating breakfast. And then I'm going to have my husband help me get off of here so we can do the litter boxes and stuff. I'm going to have him help me a little bit because I don't know if I can get down to do that. I probably can, but I don't know. I'm just worried that it's going to hurt when I try to get back up again because of the surgery. Which apparently is a thing in my family. Yeah, my a lot of people in my family have gotten their gallbladder out and they're just fine. Or they were just fine until they passed away. Um with grandma and great grandma, but they were like 90. Well, I know grandma was 90 something when she passed, so I'm gonna have to ask my parents to remind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Anyway, we're good. Anyway, I'm gonna have to ask them to remind me how old she was because I don't remember. I just know that I found out what her birthday was like 2 years before she went. I literally never knew before. I don't know that we like had birthday parties for her or anything. I know that we had birthday parties for my mama's mom. I don't remember having okay, until recently, because, cause like when your relatives get older, suddenly you want to celebrate their birthday because, it could be the last one. Um, I didn't know when my other grandparents' birthdays were either. So I just knew, well, I knew Mama's mom and Dad's birthday because I wanted to remember that. I wanted to find out when. I guess I didn't want to find out when the others had their birthdays until later. I don't know. And it's one of those things that you don't think about until they're not here anymore, and then you're like, I should have asked. So, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you're watching me on YouTube. And please follow and chat if you're watching me on Twitch. I was actually, for part of it, I was actually monitoring it. Nobody tried to talk to me, except for the guy trying to sell me viewers, and I won't do that. First of all, that's against policy on Twitch to buy and sell viewers. And for two, that's just wrong. That's like buying and selling people's information. That's like illegal and stuff. So if people would please quit trying to do that, period, not just with me, period. I would really appreciate it because you're going to get yourself into a buttload of trouble. So we're going to get back over here and oh, I guess we're going to retreat a little bit. Retreat basically means back up. Okay, we're going to over here. There we go. And we'll figure it out from here because I guess we'll do it after, like I said, we're going to get done with the adulting first, and then we're going to come back and do this. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, because it's kind of the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, but you never know what I'm going to say while I'm doing it, so. Yeah, it looks like the shortest pages I have are chapters 18 and 19, where they're 1 and 4th pages. It's really nice there. But, I have to get there first. I couldn't, I could go and do, every single one of the short chapters, but then the story wouldn't make any sense. Because what I'm doing is I'm turning them into an audio so I can see what they sound like. And, oh, that was one of the things I did. I know, I'm just, rambling on here, but that was one of the things I did. I went and I had the sentence just I'm gonna say it this way, but I don't think that's how it was written. But I'm gonna win the drinking contest at Morgan. Well, the way it was said, it didn't sound quite right, so I added a comma, or I took out the comma, one of those two. I think I took out the comma actually. So it was the way that I just said it. And then it sounded a lot better. And yeah. So I'm gonna have to turn this off for seriously this time. And yeah. Okay. So I will see you in the next stream or video.